George Springer showing out on Canada Day. This team feels alive. And I love what Kevin Gausman said after the game. He put it perfectly. He has the ability to completely take over a baseball game.
Yeah.
We saw it on Tuesday.
I think you needed like one of the faces of the team other than Vladdy to step up in a big spot. George Springer, he's gone through injuries. He's gone through so many questions since leaving Houston and getting the big contract over there in Toronto. Is he going to ever live up to the expectations of what you want to see from George Springer? And yesterday, that home run that he hit yesterday, it felt like the Bautista homer. When you're watching the Canada Day, I understand it wasn't the same magnitude, but a sold-out crowd. I mean, the people were going crazy. So for George Springer to come through in that moment, it was great to see. And yes, he's gone through his fair share of ups and downs in Toronto. But one thing that's been consistent for him, the power has been somewhat consistent. Last year in 2024, he had his struggles, but you can see here in 2025, he has been consistent the majority of the season, right there in the middle of the lineup, and continue to come through for the team. So yesterday, yeah, we started off with the game yesterday with Max Fried on the mound. You know your back is against the wall. Roflo speaking on what Max Fried has done after a loss. So you started off right there and get the homer to get yourself on the board, and then come through with the bases loaded in a 2-strike count and still find a way to wait, be patient enough for a mistake, and come through in that spot with a sold-out crowd on Canada Day. It doesn't get any better than that, and then just a little icing on top of the cake. 7 RBIs one day. George Springer has been absolutely unbelievable this year. And the biggest thing that I've seen is he's taking the same pitches. And last year, it was rollovers, ground balls. He lost his ability to really drive the ball in the air. The biggest change he's made this year, and I'm sure he worked on it in the offseason, finding a way to drive that ball in the air again. It's very similar pitches. And you see he's just out and around, rolling over. He's trying to lift it, but he's not getting up in the air. So let's go to a board real quick. The largest decrease in ground ball percentage the last 2 seasons from George Springer. Ooh, this is a big jump, 11% shift. It's taken all those pitches that are hittable pitches, and instead of rolling them over the shortstop or hitting the ground ball up the middle, he's found what ticks for him to be able to pull the ball in the air specifically, and that's something that he's been focusing on all season. That's having a lot of success for him.
That's crazy because the swing, CY, side by side, doesn't look that different, but the results are different.
The results are different. It's about when you're trying to lift the ball, sometimes you get outside of your swing, your hips start to fly, and you roll over it because it's still somewhat of an uppercut swing, you would say. But right now, he's much shorter to the ball, catching it out in front still, but understanding how to drive the ball. And that's a special skill. A lot of people don't know how to pull the ball in the air and drive it while still staying within staying within himself. But George Springer has been amazing all season long. And when you look at the underlying metrics of what he's doing, he's barreling the ball up more. He's hitting the ball harder. Every metric that you want to see improvement in, whether it's going up or going down, it's going up for George Springer right now. His launch angle, the ground ball percentage has gone down, and that is the biggest shift that I've seen from George Springer this season.
Those two teams continue this 4-game set. Game 3 coming your way a little bit later today in Toronto. It is Will Warren going for the New York Yankees. Jose Barrios goes for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Sweep them and come out in first place.
That. He had the crowd.
That would be a statement. But they're halfway there. Still 2 more games to go.